You're listening to the Power Agent Blogcast, empowering agents to elevate their business to the next level.
Challenges are just a guide, leading you, don't run and hide. You've got the heart, you've got the drive, feel it pound your life. Power Agent.
Hey everyone, if you're a real estate agent and you're feeling a little bit like you're on a roller coaster lately with the market, I think you're in the right place.
Yeah, it's definitely been a time of a lot of changes in the market, and that can be really challenging for agents to keep up with.
So that's what we're going to dig into today on the Power Agent Blogcast. This idea of, how to maintain the right mindset as an agent when things are changing so rapidly.
Exactly. And it's not just about keeping up with, the latest market trends and data. It's really about having the right mental framework to navigate all of this.
Yeah.
It's not just about, little tweaks here and there. It's like we need a full-on mindset makeover.
Which I thought was really catchy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so powerful about this approach.
And the first makeover is all about you as the agent.
Yeah. It all starts with you, right? Because if you don't have the right mindset, then nothing else really matters.
So how does maintaining that positive mindset and sort of protecting yourself mentally, especially in a field like real estate?
Sales in general and real estate specifically is a very emotional business.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many highs and lows, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get caught up in those ups and downs and to let your emotions dictate your actions.
It can be so draining.
The importance of building resilience.
And what does that look like in practice?
Well, for one thing, it's about recognizing that, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have deals fall through. You're going to have clients who are difficult. But it's about not letting those setbacks define you.
So it's not about, pretending that those challenges don't exist, but it's more about how you respond to them.
Exactly. It's about having that mental toughness to bounce back from adversity.
Like you can't pour from an empty cup.
Absolutely. You have to take care of yourself both physically and mentally if you want to be successful in this business.
So that might look like, taking some time for yourself each day to exercise or meditate or just do something you enjoy. It's about recognizing that you're not a machine. You're a human being and you need to recharge.
And I think that's something that a lot of agents struggle with, especially when they're first starting out. You're so focused on building your business and getting clients that you forget to take care of yourself.
So how do you stay positive and focused when the market is shifting so rapidly? It's a question worth pondering.
And the second mindset makeover focuses on your buyers.
Buyers.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who are really feeling the effects of this market shift, right?
Yeah. They're seeing interest rates go up. They're seeing prices fluctuate. They're hearing all this talk about a recession.
Yeah.
And it's making them hesitant.
So how do you as an agent build buyer loyalty in this kind of environment?
Well, the importance of understanding buyer psychology.
Which is more important now than ever, I think.
Absolutely. Because if you can understand what your buyers are thinking and feeling, you can better address their concerns and build that trust that's so essential in this market.
I also talk about the importance of effective communication, right? Like really listening to your buyers, understanding their needs, and then communicating clearly and honestly with them.
And one specific thing is the importance of buyer agency agreements.
Which maybe in the past, agents haven't really focused on as much. But now with all the new regulations and the evolving legal landscape, it's becoming more and more critical.
Yeah. You really need to make sure that your buyers understand the value you bring and that they're committed to working with you.
So how can you, as an agent, get into the minds of your buyers right now?
What are their deepest fears and aspirations in this market? Because once you understand that, you can start to build that connection and that trust that will lead to long-term loyalty.
It's about moving beyond just trying to close a deal and really trying to understand what your buyers are going through.
Exactly. And that's how you build those lasting relationships that will benefit both you and your clients in the long run.
I love that. So we've talked about mindset makeovers for you, the agent, and for your buyers.
Yeah.
Now, what about sellers?
Yes, the sellers. They're also feeling the effects of this market shift in a big way.
In a different way, but yeah, for sure.
Right. They're seeing the market slow down. They're seeing prices potentially decline. And they're wondering if they should even try to sell right now.
So how do you connect with sellers who are feeling this kind of uncertainty?
Well, just like with buyers, the importance of understanding seller psychology.
So what are some of the key insights into the minds of sellers right now?
Well, for one thing, how sellers are often very emotionally attached to their homes.
Oh, that's so true. Their home is their biggest asset. Often it's, their biggest investment. They've raised their families there. They've created so many memories there.
Exactly. So when it comes time to sell, it can be a very emotional process.
And in a shifting market, those emotions can be even more heightened, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because now they're not just dealing with the emotional side of things, they're also dealing with the uncertainty of the market.
So they might be worried about getting a lower price than they were hoping for, or they might be worried about their home sitting on the market for a long time.
And all of that can lead to a lot of stress and anxiety.
So how do you as an agent help sellers navigate those emotions and those challenges?
Well, one thing is this idea of serving, not selling.
I love that concept. Tell me more about that.
It's about shifting your mindset from being a salesperson to being a trusted advisor.
So instead of just focusing on closing a deal, you're focusing on helping your sellers achieve their goals.
Exactly. And that might mean having some tough conversations with them about pricing or marketing or timing.
But it's all about doing what's in their best interest, even if it means, not making a sale right away.
Because in the long run, if you build that trust and that relationship with your sellers, they're going to be more likely to come back to you in the future.
It's about building those long-term relationships
Yeah,
that are based on mutual respect and trust.
exactly. And that's how you create a successful and sustainable business in real estate.
I love that. So we've talked about mindset makeovers for you, the agent, for your buyers, and for your sellers. Now, what about this analogy of the rear view mirror?
Oh, yes. The rear view mirror. How it's easy to get stuck looking in the rear view mirror.
Dwelling on the past, right? Focusing on what's behind us.
Exactly. And, it's natural to want to analyze past trends and to try to learn from our mistakes.
But if we get too fixated on the past, we can miss out on the opportunities that are right in front of us.
And that's what the rear view mirror analogy is all about. It's about reminding us that the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror.
Meaning that there's so much more potential in front of us than there is behind us.
Exactly. So instead of dwelling on what's happened in the past, we need to focus on what's happening now and what's coming next.
We need to adapt to the changing landscape and embrace the opportunities that come with change.
And that's a really important message for real estate agents in this current market.
Because things are changing so rapidly, we need to be able to adapt and adjust our strategies on the fly.
If we're stuck in the past, we're going to get left behind.
So let go of the rearview mirror and focus on the windshield.
Exactly. There's a whole world of possibilities out there just waiting to be discovered.
I love that. So to recap, we've covered 3 essential mindset makeovers for agents in this shifting market.
The first is all about you, the agent. It's about cultivating a positive mindset, building resilience, and seeing change as a chance for growth.
The second is about understanding your buyers, connecting with them on a deeper level, communicating effectively, and building that foundation of trust.
And the third is about shifting from a transactional to a service-oriented approach with your sellers, understanding their anxieties, providing expert guidance, and building those long-term relationships.
And running through all of these is that idea of letting go of the past, shifting our focus from the rear view mirror to the windshield, and looking ahead with optimism and a willingness to adapt.
It's about embracing the changes, nurturing genuine relationships, and keeping your focus on the opportunities that lie ahead.
So how do we put all of this into practice?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's one that we're going to explore in more depth in the next part of our deep dive.
Awesome. I can't wait. Stay tuned.
It's about taking all these great ideas and actually, implementing them in our day-to-day work with clients.
Yeah. How do we move beyond just the theory and into the practical application of all this?
Well, for one thing, it could mean really having those in-depth conversations with your buyers, like really listening to their concerns, not just, skimming the surface.
And maybe proactively addressing those concerns before they even have a chance to voice them.
Right. It's about being one step ahead and showing them that you're really invested in their success.
And being transparent about the market.
Right.
Like not sugarcoating things, but also not being all doom and gloom either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance between honesty and optimism.
And then on the seller side of things, I think it's about going beyond just, listing their property and hoping for the best.
It's about being a true advocate for them, providing them with the information and support they need to make informed decisions.
Even when those decisions are difficult.
Right, because sometimes, you have to have those tough conversations about pricing or marketing or, maybe even advising them to hold off on selling for a while.
But if you've built that trust and that relationship with them, they're more likely to listen to your advice.
And they're more likely to feel confident in your ability to guide them through this process.
So at the end of the day, it seems like the key to putting all of these mindset makeovers into practice is really just focusing on building genuine relationships.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's about building those relationships that are based on trust and transparency and a genuine desire to help your clients achieve their goals.
And those strong relationships are what's going to lead to greater success for both you and your clients in the long run.
Absolutely. Because when you have those strong relationships, you create a win-win situation.
So as we wrap up our exploration of the Power Agent Blogcast, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question.
Ooh, I love a good thought-provoking question. Hit me.
If you could take just one action today to start shifting your mindset and better serving your clients in this changing market, what would it be?
Wow, that's a really good question. It's making me think.
It's challenging us to really pinpoint, where we can make the most impact right now.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be something huge. It could be something small, like sending a personalized message to a client or calling them just to check in.
Or it could be something bigger, like, revamping your marketing strategy or taking a course to improve your skills.
The important thing is to take that first step.
Because even those small steps can lead to significant changes down the line.
It's all about momentum and consistency. One action leads to another, and before you know it, you've created this ripple effect.
So what one action will you take today to shift your mindset and elevate your service to your clients? Think about it.
And remember, the market may be in constant flux, but your ability to adapt, learn, and grow is unwavering.
Embrace the changes, nurture those genuine relationships, and keep your focus on the opportunities that lie ahead.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Taking action and moving forward.
And that's a perfect note to end on. So thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, thank you for tuning in to the Power Agent Blogcast. We'll be back next week with another episode.
Until then, keep those mindsets positive. Keep learning, keep growing,
and keep thriving. We'll see you soon.